She stood on the balcony of her penthouse, staring down at the city like it owed her something. Her name was Victoria, born rich, spoiled by wealth, and surrounded by people who only cared about status. Money never ran out, but peace always did. Her father was a business tycoon. Her mother was more of a brand than a parent. And love? That was just another business deal in their world. Victoria wasn't cold by nature, but years of living in a glass box made her distant. Lately, pressure was mounting. Her parents wanted her to settle down, to bring respect to the family name. There were whispers of arranged meetings, setups with heirs and sons of CEOs. She didn't want a husband. But she needed one, just for show. Just long enough to silence her family and the eyes of the world. So she came up with a plan. If they want a husband, I'll give them one, she thought with a bitter smile. But on my terms. Her idea wasn't smart. It wasn't safe. But it was simple. She'd hire someone. Someone with no ties, no reputation. Someone who could pretend, stay quiet, and vanish once the job was done. A fake husband. A contract. 1 week. Enough to fool everyone. The next morning, she stepped out in dark sunglasses and a long coat, the kind of disguise only rich people think is low-key. She didn't want a polished actor or a struggling model. That would be too risky. Too expensive. She wanted someone who had nothing, no fame, no past, no reason to say no. Someone invisible to the world. That's when she saw him. He sat on the curb, back leaned against a rusted pole, jacket torn, hair messy, eyes half closed. A small cardboard sign rested near his feet, "Anything helps." People passed him by like he was part of the sidewalk. Nobody noticed him. Except her. She stopped. He noticed her shoes first, high-end, spotless, expensive. He didn't look up. "You hungry?" she asked. He lifted his eyes slowly, eyebrows raised. She didn't look like someone who offered kindness. "Depends," he said. "You offering food or something else?" She smirked. Something else. Now he looked at her. Really looked. Calm, calculating. Not scared. Not desperate. That caught her off guard. "I need you to pretend to be my husband for a week," she said plainly. He blinked. "Excuse me? It's a job. I'll pay you. You won't have to do anything weird. Just stay close, act like you like me, and meet some people." He chuckled under his breath. "You're serious?" She nodded. 1 week. $10,000. He stared at her, trying to read her face. No joke. No cameras. No trap. "What's the catch?" he asked. "There isn't one," she said, though that wasn't entirely true. "Just show up, act decent, and disappear after 7 days." He stood up slowly. Taller than she expected. His voice was quiet, but sure. "All right. You've got yourself a husband." Victoria felt a strange rush of satisfaction. She handed him her number and a hotel keycard. "Be there at 6. Shower. Shave. Wear whatever's in the room. We're having dinner with my parents." He raised an eyebrow. "Moving fast, aren't we?" She turned without answering. She never looked back. He watched her walk away. Then looked down at the card. A penthouse suite. Fancy hotel. This girl wasn't playing. But neither was he. What Victoria didn't know, couldn't even imagine, was that the man she just hired wasn't who he seemed to be. He wasn't poor. He wasn't homeless. And he definitely wasn't desperate. His name wasn't listed on the cardboard sign, but on the board of 5 companies. He was Daniel Cross, CEO of Crosstech International, worth over $800 million. But for the past few weeks, he'd been laying low, walking the streets in worn clothes, watching the world from the outside, disappearing on purpose. Why? Because sometimes, to understand people, you have to live like them. Daniel had money, power, and employees who praised him. But he didn't trust any of it. He wanted to see how people treated you when you had nothing. How real the world was without a title. That's how he found her. Or maybe, how she found him. Back in her apartment, Victoria was pacing. Her friends would never believe this. She didn't know his name yet. Didn't care. As long as he looked decent and could smile on command, she'd get what she needed. Just enough to stop the questions. To make her father proud. To keep the tabloids talking, for the right reasons this time. At 6 sharp, there was a knock on her hotel room door. She opened it, half expecting a mess. But there he was. Clean-shaven. Hair slicked back. Black suit, perfectly fitted. He didn't just clean up well. He looked expensive. Her breath caught for half a second, and she hated that it did. "You clean up okay," she said casually. "You pick good hotels," he replied. "You don't talk too much, do you?" "Only when it matters." She stared at him for a second. Something about him was off. He wasn't nervous. He wasn't shy. He looked at her like an equal, not a man she had just pulled off the street. She pushed the thought away. "Dinner's in an hour. Just follow my lead." He nodded. As they sat across from her parents later that evening, forks tapping against fine china, wine glasses filled to the brim, Victoria smiled wider than she had in months. Her father raised an eyebrow. Her mother narrowed her eyes. "And what do you do, young man?" her father asked, dabbing his lips. Before he could speak, Victoria jumped in. "He's between things right now. Taking time to find his next big move." Daniel smiled softly. "That's one way to put it." Her father nodded slowly, still watching him. Later, as they left the restaurant, Victoria exhaled in relief. "You did well," she admitted. "I almost believed you were rich." He looked at her, one eyebrow slightly raised. "Funny. I was about to say the same thing." She froze. He walked ahead, hands in his pockets, silent. Calm. Dangerous, somehow. And in that moment, Victoria realized she didn't know him at all.